What's up, YouTube? This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar911970. Thank you, as always, for visiting and taking the time to watch. Alright, guys, I want to share some of what I consider my wisdom. Now, it could resonate with you, it may not. That's not for me to decide. I'm basically going to be sharing my experiences of all the things I've learned, all the things that I have gathered, my own conclusions, and like I said, if it works for you, then use it. If not, then this is just entertainment for you. I highly recommend it first to people looking into my sun gazing videos and research them, because I can pretty much say without a shadow of a doubt at this point that the sun gazing has been one of the main reasons why I can see things so differently. Things that used to be things that would just pass me by, now I could see like very easily, basically, to put it in the easiest of terms. The meaning of life to me used to be something that I could not grasp, could not understand, and now I, in my own heart, believe that I know for myself the way. Now, there are going to be people in lower vibrational kind of settings where they're going to say instantly, that's crazy, this person's lost it. You know, I'm not here for the people who are going to judge and make opinions that are cruel. I'm here to try and help people become better people. So the ones that want to judge, you know, that's their choice. They're free to do whatever they want. I'm not worried about that. There's a reason why when you progress through this truther movement, there are so many different stages you'll go through. You'll look into the Satanism parts of the Illuminati. You'll look through the scary parts of the FEMA camps and the control. And I've come to realize in my own conclusion and through my research is that consent is the key. Now, what I mean by consent, that means your willingness to give your energy to something or someone else. Now, if you even think of that in legal terms, I've talked about this many times about the 13th Amendment when they talk about things like the involuntary servitude. Now, if you volunteer your servitude, they can pretty much do whatever they want. I find this in life itself, that what people call the Illuminati is nothing more than illuminated people who really know how life works. And even if you study mainstream science, there are certain things that actually will agree with other people that are outside the mainstream. And that is that you change the universe based on your feelings and your actual perception of viewing it. An atom, which is a particle of energy, it's a particle of light, will turn into a wave, but turn back into a particle when viewed upon. So in other words, the very process of viewing something changes it. Now, if people want to dismiss that, that means they're not researching. Again, I can't help those people. This is proven fact. So just by observing the universe, you're changing what creates it. Your feelings and emotions also change the directions you go. There are no such thing as coincidences, fates, and things like that. You're taught that, so this way you don't know that the true power is within you. Like they say in The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy had the power to go home all along, and it had nothing to do with the ruby red slippers. That's why you'll see so many movies where there'll be somebody, they'll say maybe they'll have a magic sword or a magic wand or a magic book or something like that. They say they have, this is what gives you your power, and by the end of the movie they realize that those were just tools to help them awaken what's inside them. That's the message they're trying to tell people. Now, when you first start looking into the stuff, you'll see all the scary stuff, all the what I like to call fear porn. All the, oh, they're devil worshippers, and they're this, and they kill people and send them to FEMA camps and all this stuff. What's happening is, without us knowing it is, when we watch those things and we start to feel that scared feeling or that anger, frustration, worry, we're giving our consent to allow ourselves to change the outside world into what they're steering us towards, which is the lower vibrations of fear, anger, depression, because that's when you can be controlled. Now, they put this stuff out there, and just because they put it out there does not mean people have to watch it. You know, it's like, for example, if there's a button on the wall that says don't push, and it says if you push this you'll get shot, well, if somebody is silly enough to say, well, I don't believe it, or they're curious enough to push that button, well, they basically just shot themselves. Even though somebody was cruel or mean or whatever enough to create something that deadly, the fact that they warned you not to touch it and you chose to do it means that you've given up your servitude and you have consented to take responsibility for what comes next. So there's a reason why there's all this fear porn, anger, death, murder, cops spraying people, why it's being displayed, the Satan worshiping, all that stuff, is because they're getting you, by watching that negative vibration, you're giving over your consent to allow somebody else to dictate where your life is headed. Which means, even though it's not nice what they're doing, it's still a choice. And that's what life boils down to. So if you want to fix the world, you have to eliminate the lower vibrations, the fear, the anger, all that stuff that you watch that makes you mad, makes you worry. Because they're not putting a gun to your head and saying, you have to watch this stuff. So in essence, they're not doing anything wrong. What they're doing is they're setting the trap, knowing that people's emotions will carry them in a way where they will not think about it logically, but they will just react, not understanding that they're giving up their own servitude. In other words, they are condemning themselves to the universe that's being created. Now, I'm going to keep this very simple at this point. If people have questions, I'll be more than happy to ask. But if you want to let go of the fear, it's a choice. You let it go. If you want to let go of all the anger, it's a choice. Let it go. If you don't want to see all the negativity in the world, then don't watch it. Because you will create what you feel. And that's why the news is always negative. That's why you'll see all this porn fear, or fear porn, a little dyslexic there, all the negativity, all the stuff that scares you. Because you don't realize that even though that stuff looks bad, you're choosing to partake in it. And when you get enough people to partake in the same thing, it creates the world around you. So the way to defeat them is to no longer partake in it. And it's just that simple. Now, like I said, there's going to be many people that don't understand this. They're going to make their judgments. That's perfectly fine. I create my universe. That doesn't mean that the outside universe changes. It just means how I react to it, because it's all a choice. You think of it like watching a television show. You're changing the channel, all of a sudden you watch this movie, and it's very scary, and you don't like it, and it's gory, and it's bloody, and it's disgusting. You could sit there the whole time and say, oh, this sucks, and I can't believe this, and I'm going to tell my friends about this, and oh, God, this is just horrible, and why would they do something like this, and I'm going to write into the editor and the people that wrote it, I'm going to complain. When all you have to do is change the channel. Now, that doesn't mean that channel is no longer there. It just means you're no longer watching it, so it no longer affects you. So if everybody just switched off the negativity, their life wouldn't be full of negativity, and we wouldn't be getting what we are sowing. You reap what you sow. The world is energy, and it's condensed through magnetism. So you get what you give. Smarter people than the average person know this. The illuminated ones. It always goes back to light. So they're setting a trap, knowing that you're going to walk in and push that button. Just because they set the trap does not mean that it's evil. It's when you do what they tell you not to do is when you have to realize it's your responsibility, and that's when it all boils down to choice. So that's my solution. You can agree with it, you can disagree with it. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm here to give you alternative views that you will not find in mainstream media and even on a lot of truther channels. Because a lot of them are trying to scare the living daylights out of you. And you don't realize, until now, you're consenting. You're giving your consent to allow that to happen. Stop it and your world will change. Thanks for watching, guys. Share this video. Peace.